What's up, guys? This is Ice. Another tutorial for you guys. It's on rendering stuff, and you're gonna need Sony Vegas and Adobe After Effects for this tutorial to follow along with it. So if you don't have that, definitely go get them. They're very necessary for editing. So yeah, and just before I start this, I just want to tell you guys that probably the last upload that I'm gonna upload in for a while, because I'm going away for Taki Camp for a couple of weeks, and then I'm going away for like a week after that, so won't be posting at all. I'm not, so yeah, and then when I get back, I'll be posting, but I'm not gonna be posting every day like I've tried to recently, because I've tried to, and it's just so hard because I'm really busy. So yeah, it's, yeah. So pretty much I'm just gonna cut this clip down just so that I could render this easily without any problems. I'm gonna make it as like about 5 seconds so that it renders quickly. And so pretty much, if you're new to editing, this is pretty much for you. So in order to render something, what you have to do is you just pretty much drag the composition to a renderer queue. Or the other way you could do this is you could just go to add to render queue. I forget where that is. Composition add to render queue. But I just usually drag it into my render queue over here. And here there's like a bunch of different things you have to do to make sure that your render turns out good. So the first thing you gotta do is go to output module, just click on where it says lossless, and should pop up a window. Yeah, and if you're planning on having audio, if there's audio in After Effects that you want to come out in the video, you have to check off audio output. I don't mess with any of these settings over here, but pretty much just check audio output, and then yeah, that's pretty much all you have to do. You could change the format to whatever you want, but I keep it on AVI because this is just the way I'll do it, and if you watch this whole tutorial, you'll see why. And so yeah, just press OK after that. And over here in best settings, what you want to do here, I don't usually touch this at all, but you should probably make sure that your frame rate is 59.94. That's the optimal frame rate for editing, and so mine's already that way, so that's fine. And the only other thing you might change in this is proxy use. And pretty much, if you don't know what proxies are pretty much if you use a clip for an edit, and you like by mistake you move the file for the clip somewhere else on your computer, it won't recognize where the clip is. So what you need to do to make it get the clip back, you'd have to right click on the clip that it doesn't recognize and just press set proxy and then file. Then you'd have to relocate it for the for After Effects. And then pretty much if you do that, what you have to do is you have to go into best settings when you're rendering and press use all proxies. But in this case, I'm not using any proxies, so this is fine. So just press cancel. Log you should keep to errors only, and output, that's pretty much just what your file is going to be saved as. So I guess I could just change that if I want to. Just render tutorial, and I'll just save that in my videos library. So pretty much that's about it. All you have to do for this, and just gotta render it. So yeah, pretty much it's just gonna render out, and it'll pretty much show you a preview. But one tip I picked up, I don't remember where I picked this up, but while it's rendering, if you want it to go a bit faster, what you do is you press caps lock on your keyboard, and pretty much what that'll do is that'll pause the frame right there. It'll still continue to render, but it's gonna pause the frame so it doesn't have to actually generate each frame, and that takes some of the work off of the program for rendering. So yeah, it'll just cut down your render time, and yeah. And just one last thing that you should know is pretty much how fast your render time is usually depends on the amount of RAM that you have, and you can see that down here. Like I have 3.5 gigabytes. That's not very good. I kind of hate it, but I have a laptop, so it's not really the most efficient computer to use when you're editing. So 3.5 gigabytes isn't a very good RAM, but if you have more RAM, that means you'll probably render faster. So yeah, just in case you guys are like thinking about buying a new computer, just something to consider is always check how much RAM it has. So yeah, but it says it's gonna take 6 more minutes, so I guess I'm just gonna pause the video here, and then I will come back when it's done. So yeah. Hey guys, I'm back, and sorry if you just heard my TV in the background, but yeah. So pretty much I finished rendering in After Effects, and so I'm just gonna get that back. Render tutorial AVI. Okay. Alright, so pretty much now what you're gonna do is you're gonna put that in Sony Vegas, and you just put that to the beginning of the timeline, and what do I have to say now? Your composition, it could be this is the I just use whatever the default composition is, and so 29.97 frame rate, all that kind of stuff, and that's fine. And oh yeah, before I start doing this, just to show you guys render AVI. If you watch render tutorial or whatever you called your file name, AVI, if you watch that, I don't know why it didn't just start, but it's not gonna look good at all. It's gonna be very like, it's gonna like pause all the time and stuff. And here it is. It's gonna look really bad. It's gonna look really weird. So don't even look at that. Like, I don't see if you guys can see this. Like, it's all just messed up. So don't even look at that. But then for some reason, when you put it in Sony Vegas, if you just press play and look up here in the preview, it looks much better. It looks more fluent and stuff. So that's good. So yeah, and pretty much what you have to do now is you just render it out. And one thing I just forgot to tell you guys, and then I just noticed it, is that when you're in After Effects, your composition, before you render, make sure that your composition time, so you go to composition settings, and make sure your time is however long your video is. So I made it 33 seconds by accident, but it should really be 5 seconds. And then, so now if you look at this, that's composition, because now if you don't change it to however long your video is, you'll see that you have a lot of black at the end, and that's the rest of the composition, that where your clip isn't. So that's all black now, so you don't want that. So I mean, I could just cut this now, so it's not that big of a deal, but it's just you should really do that before. So I could just split that and then delete that part. So now all you have to do is you just have to render it, and to render it in Sony Vegas you have to just do File, go File, Render As, and then a window will pop up, and you don't really change any of the settings whenever this window will pop up. Come on. Alright, so you don't really change any of the settings here. Just make sure that right here under render options, make sure it doesn't say render loop region only, because if it does that, I mean, you may be cutting out part of your video. So make sure that's unchecked, and pretty much just up here you just change it to whatever you want it to be. So I'll just make it render tutorial again, and the setting that you want it to be under is 8 Mbps HD 180-30p video, and you want it to be under WMV, so that's what it's going to render out as, render turtle WMV. So yeah, and then you just press render, and then this will show up, and yeah, that just pretty much tells you how much percent you are rendering, and yeah, so this is gonna go relatively fast, and unfortunately you can't, if you press caps lock, it doesn't do anything in Sony Vegas, so you can't make it faster anyway, but whatever, it doesn't really matter that much. As you can see, it's going relatively fast. The only reason why it was going so slow in After Effects before was because I didn't bring down the composition to where my actual clip was. So yeah, so that's pretty much the end of this tutorial. Wow, it's already almost 13 minutes long. But yeah, the last thing I just wanted to tell you guys is, when you render out in After Effects, I told you guys to render out an AVI. So the only thing you want to do is, after you render out an AVI and after you render it out in Sony Vegas and everything is like safe and everything, you just want to delete the AVI file, because that can really take a lot of space on your computer. Like the other day I had a 15-minute long AVI video, and that took up like 180 gigabytes of space, and that was just crazy. My computer said had no memory left, and I was just wondering how, and then I looked back and my AVI files are all there, and it was just taking up all the space. So definitely delete that after. I mean, a 5-second AVI video won't hurt you, but if it's like even 5 minutes, it may be like 50 gigabytes, so definitely delete all of those. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And I'll just show this quickly to you, just 5 seconds long. Turns out very nicely whenever it's a load. Yeah, so it looks pretty nice, very nice quality, even though it's just 5 seconds. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Wow, it's already almost 15 minutes, so yeah, I'm just gonna say bye now. Peace.